Welcome to the Fat Guys with Smokers podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm John. We're a couple of overweight barbecue enthusiasts trying to share our love for sweet and smoky food with the world.
Thanks for hanging out with us as we talk about life, share recipes, successes, and failures that have all led to our love of cooking outdoors.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Fat Guys with Smokers. I'm John, here with Mike.
Yo, yo.
How we doing, Mike?
Dude, I'm so good.
We were just watching TikToks and Instagram reels that we've almost lost ourselves laughing over.
It was one of those where you like start coughing halfway through the laugh, and it's like, what's happening to my body?
In one of them, somebody was pouring gasoline, I have to assume, into a ex's car.
A lover scorned.
And and look, I can see how this could happen, because if you've never lit gasoline on fire before,
Sure, yeah.
Like, even in an open air like situation, like you pour a cup of gas on a bunch of wood and you throw, like, it's highly you get the
quite combusting.
Well, they took this, looked like they'd broken a window, dumped a 2-gallon can of gas into the car, and then tried to light it with one of those like barbecue trigger lighters. And got thrown against the car next to
Huge explosion. Oh, man. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, they learned a little bit about pressure and,
And that's the message today, John. Gas blows up. Does not just burn.
It travels to the point of least resistance. And
Indeed. In that case, it was that person's head. So.
Yeah, it was the open window that it launched.
It was a violent, like, bam, right against. Oh, man.
Oh, good times.
So anyway, check that out. That was pretty funny. I tell you, man, I realize that it's probably going to end the world and society as we know it. But these short little videos on Instagram Reels and TikTok, dude, people are hilarious. Well, I love it.
They're hilarious. And I sent this video to Spencer, and he sent back like the perfect question. Like, I was just dying laughing. He's like, they just like recorded it?
Yeah.
Like
somebody's just like, ooh, let's see what happens here, instead of like maybe call the police.
Yeah, call the police, stop them.
Maybe say, hey, wait, you probably don't want to do that.
That's a bad idea.
That's a valid point, Spencer. Well said.
Yeah, he's a better person than I am.
Yeah.
Because I just laughed really hard.
Yeah, that was so funny. Oh. Well, what's been going on, John? What have you been cooking?
I cooked a little bit over the weekend.
Me too. What'd you do?
First, I did a frozen apple pie.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I partook of this goodness.
Yeah. While I was in Tampa, met a guy there that he's like, "Oh, you're into smoking." I was wearing my Hayden barbecue hat, which I lost no less than 3 times into the water.
Oh, wow.
While we were running around on the boat. Came back, we rescued it every time.
Nice.
I think my captain was ready to just leave it the last time, but he's like, "Oh yeah, my favorite thing to do is apple pie." And like, I've done apple pie before, but I did like homemade apple pie, and it was a caramel apple pie, which is ridiculously good.
Sounds phenomenal.
But like, it was such a work. He's like, "Oh no." He's like, "Go get a Dutch apple pie, like a frozen Murray Calendar's Dutch apple pie. Put it on for an hour at 400. Put the crumb on, let it go for 10 minutes. And it was the best apple pie you'll ever have in your life." And if it wasn't the best, it was darn near the best.
Dude, it was really good. So did you do a big one? Because it seemed like in the video it was just a little, personal one. Is that what it was?
No, it was a normal pie size,
normal size pie.
10-inch, whatever it is. Yeah, it was $8 at Smith's.
And just pop it out and put it on. Can't get easier than that.
Yep. There's a great Instagram reel if anyone wants to go look at it. Comment, share, please.
Please comment. At least let us know that living humans are seeing these and not just, I don't know, robots.
Yeah. But no, it was really good. Like, I was texting Clay. I was like, dude, this is awesome.
It was, you brought me some and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I brought you part of the pie because I was worried I was going to sit there and eat the whole thing.
Yeah. Well.
And I figured if you had a quarter of the pie, that was a quarter less of the pie I was going to eat.
Yeah, that quarter of the pie was gone real quick and it was not shared. So thank you, but.
Haley's like, that's a big piece. I was like, well, I don't know if Whitney likes pie or not.
Oh,
like,
no, that was all me, man.
So.
Divine.
That was wicked good.
It looked good. And easy. I like that.
Yeah.
You just pop it on. Sometimes we overcomplicate things, like something that simple. Mm-hmm. Set it and forget it.
Yep. And then on Sunday, simple. Like, I've really been trying to keep Sunday meals simple because it's so easy to, like, blow them up and do, like, big elaborate things.
Mm-hmm. And then you're cooking all day, and the one day you have with your family, you don't even see them because you're cooking. And
yeah. So did pork tenderloins. So pork loins are like the big $8 ones at Costco. Pork tenderloins are the little, normally it looks like a 2-pack, but each of those has 2 in it. Mm-hmm. That's like $15 next to the big pork loins at Costco or Sam's. Mm-hmm. So we did those and did baked potatoes, and then I did Brussels sprouts.
You do baked potatoes on the smoker?
I did.
I've never done that. I've wanted to ever since Demeron suggested it. I just never have.
Yeah, we, I don't know, it's starting to get colder, which we're going to talk about cold here in a little bit.
Love it.
But during the summer, we really tried not to use the oven in the house at all. So, yeah, we oiled, salted the potatoes, put them out on the smoker. They were out there for probably about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I mean, that's a great thing about a potato. Like,
yeah, just let it go.
It's pretty hard to overcook a potato. Mm-hmm. So they were out there between 375, 400 the whole time. But put those out there, and then while those were on the top rack, on the bottom rack, I was doing Brussels sprouts. So
nice.
They were so good.
I do love some Brussels sprouts.
My whole family's like, ew, gross, Brussels sprouts. I was like, it's my birthday. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll decide.
Like, I'm picking Brussels sprouts. They're delicious. And Haley said, I don't know. They kind of taste like broccoli farted. I was like, you have never been more of a boy mom in your entire life.
Interesting analogy. I like it.
I mean, she's not wrong. Is the problem.
I can see that.
I can
That's
see
the
it,
thing.
but
like, it
I
makes
freaking
sense.
love them.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna do those pork tenderloins on the smoker, but I just ran out of time. It was starting to get cold and windy, and things weren't cooking quite the way I wanted to. So I did the tenderloins on my gas grill.
Nice.
Threw my smoke tube in there to give them a little smoky flavor, but they
worked fabulous. Huh? Those pretty hot and fast when you cook them.
Yeah, I mean, in the smoker, I normally run them at 375, 400. So that's kind of what I did over on the Weber. Just rolled them every couple of minutes, and they were pretty good.
Right on, right on.
So, what about you? What have you been cooking?
I did tri-tip. We hosted Whitney's family, so I got a couple tri-tips and was planning on just throwing them on the grilla and sitting and forgetting and just kind of enjoying it. And freaking Mosby.
Again?
And I have a shield. Like, I bought this mesh, like this metal mesh, chewed right through it. So I'm very upset about this. But anyway, so I actually just grabbed my Weber and did kind of a 2-zone fire. It worked really good. I just put them on, I kind of did a reverse sear. So put them on the side without the coal. So when I say 2-zone fire, I mean all the charcoal was on half of the Weber kettle, and I put the grate on and then put the meat over the side without the charcoal. And just so indirect kind of cooking, and just kind of let it come up to, I think I brought it up to like 120 or 130, and then I flipped it over on the side with the heat and seared it off. Turned out really good, like delicious. And I used Holy Cow, which, dude, Holy Cow on beef, man, bomb. And then I used Malcolm Reed's steak rub on it too.
Nice.
So, but yeah, it turned out really good. I like to slice it like really, really thin across the grain, and tri-tip has 2 grains.
It does.
So you kind of got to switch it halfway through. But it was good. It was really good. Good time was had by all.
Nice.
So, freaking Moe's. I don't know what to do, man. I'm going to have to get like that electrical conduit and just run it that way or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You tried the bitter apple spray and stuff.
I should try that. I haven't tried to deter. I've just tried to armor. I should do that.
Yeah, I did that. I did that to Beans. He was chewing on his bed, so I put it on his bed, and he went to chew on it. He did not like it.
So it worked.
Yeah, except then he was scared of his bed and didn't want to get on.
He never wanted to go back.
So we had to work on that again.
But it worked. Huh? I'll have to
Yeah.
give that a shot. I've seen that. I just haven't tried it.
Yeah, no, it remind me of you can take the stuff upstairs.
Really? Might
Yeah,
do.
but friggin' dogs.
Yeah, love them, and Duke was my other dog was past this point. Like, he's such a good dog and just chill, doesn't make messes anymore. And we're kind of like, what were we thinking? Getting a new puppy and having to relive this again. But they're good dogs. They make me happy.
Pheasant season's almost here, and you'll remember.
That's true. That is true.
But to be pheasant season, it means it has to be cold.
Indeed.
And it's been kind of miserable.
I love it.
I know, I do too. Although we went to a football game last night, Charlie had the 7:30 slot.
Oh, wow. That's late. Were there lights?
Yeah, at Ander.
You can't even see.
Like it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like it's fun.
I remember Damon did that one year. It was fun.
I would way rather watch football in the cold than when it's like baking hot outside.
Sure.
And yeah, the power's been flickering around here, which that happened to me on the pie.
Oh, really?
Did
it shut your grill off completely?
It didn't shut it off, but it reset it.
Really?
Like it was out for, I don't know, 20 seconds. And yeah, I had to go back out. I'm really glad. So Traeger, when they redid their controller, and I think they call them D2 controllers now, they planned for that. So you can restart it hot.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. The old ones
Otherwise, you just got to start from the beginning, right?
Yeah. Which was a real pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Anyways, it did the same thing, and it shut the lights off at the park. And there are those big sodium vapor lights that
take forever to warm up. And
well, yeah, when they shut off, like it takes them 10 minutes to go through a shutdown cycle, and then it takes 10-15 minutes to get them up and bright. And man, everyone was freaking out. I'm just like sitting there like, just wait.
It'll be
just
fine.
wait. But they finally came up, but it was cold and kind of rainy, and man, we came home and I put on sweats and a hoodie and
put on some warm jammies.
Yeah, dude. Crashed in bed with those on.
Dude.
Woke up in the middle of the night, had to take my sweatshirt off.
Always happens.
I
You're
was
like
dying,
drenched in sweat.
But yeah, it's I love this like kind of walk out in the morning and it's a little chilly.
Yes, I love it. Fall is my favorite time of year. Like, it's beautiful, and it's I think Malcolm Reed once said it's fat guy weather. Like, we are finally comfortable. We're no longer just sweating everywhere we go, no matter what we're doing. So
yeah, it's nice when walking in from my car to the office. I'm not just like, ugh.
Yeah, exactly. You're trying to air out. Exactly. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have to strategically pick your shirt so that you can't see the sweat stains through.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Grays are dangerous. You got to avoid the grays.
Grays, blues. Yeah.
Yep.
But what we're going to talk about, I guess, two things. Like, one, what do you like to cook when it's cold?
Mm-hmm.
And then cold and cooking don't always go well together.
Yeah. There's some challenges that come with it. So
Yeah, so
we'll talk about that. Should we start with what we like to cook?
yeah, what do you like?
Well, we were kind of talking about this. We cooked a chili.
Oh my gosh.
I did a chuck roast, and I got the idea from Malcolm Reed. He used, I believe he used just leftover brisket that he threw in his chili. I didn't have any leftover brisket, so I cooked a chuck roast, and like the night before, smoked it, cubed it up, put it in the fridge, and then made a chili the next day just in a Dutch oven out on the smoker, and holy cats, like it was probably the best chili that I've ever had. Use that meat church seasoning that we talked about. Like, oh my gosh, it was stupid good, to use your phrase.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the Malcolm Reed recipe and the meat church recipe, I gotta find my longer cord here. I'm gonna pull my headphones off. I think their chili recipes are pretty similar. But,
Yeah, I think so too.
yeah, using leftover brisket. Yeah, that meat church chili rub is just out of this world.
Well, I was doing a bunch of research on how I could make my own, and I had this list of 45 ingredients, and I think I had to call you for pellets and was like, hey, and you were like, dude, take this chili mix and see what you think. And oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it was phenomenal.
yeah. I started out in barbecue like wanting to make my own rubs, and like meat church just gets it, man.
Dude,
He does so good with them. And the chili rub, that chili, like, I don't believe soup is a meal. Stew is just kind of like a souped up soup.
sure.
I will make that chili in the middle of July to eat because it's so good.
Oh man, it's good. And to your point, like you were saying, we just kind of use meat church's stuff or whatever. We've talked about, like, we're pretty busy. Like, I'd love one day to be experimenting with rubs, but right now the time that we have is so limited. Like, I'm gonna use what I like and what other people create, and it works. So
Yeah, well, and it's super good. You can add more or take some away, like to control the heat. Like most of the time we do it pretty mild because I don't want to like light my kids on fire.
right.
I made one batch that was like so hot. Like I was telling you, like I don't get heartburn. Like I put it in my mouth and I was like, oh, I'm gonna pay for this later. And ate like 3 bowls. Like it was just so delicious.
Well, that's how I did it. I used that chili, and then I was following a recipe where they just took like some chipotle peppers and adobo sauce and just kind of crushed them up and threw it in. It was so good. But I mean, seriously, as soon as I ate it, I know exactly what you're talking about because you can just feel it. Like, oh, I'm going to pay for this.
Yeah, you do that, and it's what's the old saying? It's so nice it bites you twice.
Yeah. I was going to say you feel the heat twice on those ones. It was good though.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, chili. What else do you make?
Yeah, I love chili verde.
Oh yeah, you've talked about this. I've never made this. I've heard you talk about it.
So chili verde, do it a lot with pulled pork, like leftover pulled pork. But if you don't have that, just like cube up some pork loin and brown it off, and then you build a gravy with like a normal roux, and you build a pork gravy, but it's got green chilies in it. Most of the time I use Anaheim. If I can get them, I use Hatch. And then like it's a Hispanic dish, right? It's Mexican food. That we eat it over potatoes, we eat it over rice. You can make burritos, you can make enchiladas out of it.
Is it kind of like chili where you just set it and let it just kind of all the flavors just work together?
Yeah, but it's, man, I just love it. You roast off the chilies and you get that smoky flavor into the chilies. And I've started even putting like a couple jalapenos in it to really amp up the spice. That, like, I could eat those two things all winter long and just be fat and sassy.
Just getting fat and sassy.
Yeah.
I could get on board with that. Dude, I put chili on a lot of stuff. So I work the lunchroom at school. And on days where we have chili, like, I put chili, like, I don't know. Maybe this is gross and people are going to be disgusted. But so I swipe everybody's cards. And once the kids are done, it's second lunch. And so they're like, yeah, just take what you want. And so I will get, like, corn dogs and take the sticks out and dump chili on it. Dude, it's, like, one of my favorite things.
I support that.
But I put chili on everything. So I could get on board with just making a crap ton and eating it on different things for the rest of the night.
Dude. But
have you ever had a white chicken chili? My mom makes one, and I was just sitting here thinking as you were talking about your chili verde, I wonder if I can make that work in a Dutch oven on the smoker.
Oh, yeah.
And get a little smoke to it.
100%.
Oh, dude, that sounds phenomenal. I'm going to have to try that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of white chili.
Ah, man. Me too.
What does she put in hers?
I mean, chicken, obviously. I know there's hominy in it. I think she puts corn in it. I can't remember. I haven't had it for so long. I need to ask her. I know she just made it, but she didn't save me any, so that was rude.
Hominy, huh?
I think so.
Man,
Yeah.
I haven't had hominy.
Yeah.
I mean, I normally have hominy once a year, and that's on New Year's when my dad and I go get now I can't think of what it is. Menudo. There you go.
I don't know what that is.
It,
You could have said anything right there, and I would have been like, oh, neat.
So menudo, it's a Mexican soup that's got tripe in it.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah,
I don't know if I could do that. I'm glad you two enjoy that.
It's tradition more than anything.
Yeah.
Like, I had a lot of tripe on my mission.
Did you?
A lot of tripe. That kind of burned me out, but I still eat it.
Yeah. I mean, I've had it before, and I will eat it. The consistency drives me nuts. And thinking about what it is, I can't do. I just have to pretend it's...
Yeah. So
know.
for anyone that's driving and doesn't want to Google it, tripe is cow stomach.
And I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, because obviously you've had more of it than me, but I feel like it looks like how would you even describe how it looks? It almost looks like a brush. Like,
it can, like,
oh.
if you've, like, if it's been prepared, like, it's normally cut pretty small that you can't
that you
tell,
don't notice it too much.
If you get big chunks of it, it's like the edge of lasagna noodles, that like wavy texture all over a piece of meat.
Yeah.
That's solid. Like it.
Yeah.
It's gross looking.
It is.
It's got a weird texture, but it's tradition. It's traditional. So
see, Hmong people used to make pho all the time, and they'd put tripe in it. It took some getting used to for me, but after a while, it was like, this is fine, I guess.
yeah.
But kind of the same deal, like a soup that just kind of a traditional Vietnamese soup. It's good though.
Yeah. But so cooking in the cold is different.
Yeah. It hits different, as the kids would say.
Yeah.
It's mid.
It's mid. I don't know what that means.
Dude, I'm learning so many new words. I try them out all the time. Giving main character. I learned that yesterday. This is a family show. Is that appropriate? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It means like you're being a diva. Like you're giving main character vibes right now.
Oh.
You know. Yeah. I just learned that today.
Well, I kind of want to be the main character.
I know. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. But yeah, they use it as like a put down for somebody who's being like a drama queen, I guess. I don't know.
What's wrong with just calling them a drama queen?
Dude, you can't do that. Can't do that anymore. That's so boomer.
Boomer?
Yeah.
Boomer. These kids their grandparents are boomers.
I know. I found a chat GPT. I can say, hey, can you write this in Gen Z vernacular? It's hilarious. I've started sending some emails to other teachers like that. They're big fans. It was awesome. It was like I was just talking about a girl today and was just saying, like, it was her special ed teacher. She's like, hey, can you just let me know how she's doing? I just said, yeah, she's doing great. She's good to ask me questions. And then I put it through that. And it was like, oh, she's got mad focus in my class. And she always slides into my DMs for help. And I was like, just let the record show. There is no sliding into DMs. She just asked. Anyway, that's pretty funny. It's a good time.
Well, when I'm at the court testifying on behalf of your character.
Yeah. Anyway, cooking in the cold.
What do you do? Because when we're cooking, we want things to get hot.
Right. It can be a struggle.
And that's different than being cold.
Well, I think one of my favorite tips, and I feel like the most economical tip I've ever heard, was from you about your welding blanket.
Yeah,
and I feel like you've talked about it before, but tell us about the welding blanket.
Yeah, so we put this on Instagram and Facebook, and Eric Bud shouted this out too.
Yeah.
You can buy these really nice insulated covers.
Yeah, and they're built for your grill, and they fit it really good.
And they look awesome, and they're great. As a poor, starving guy that wanted to get into barbecue, and his wife was already mad at how much money he had spent.
I hear that.
And I don't even remember what blog it was I was reading, but someone was talking about a welding blanket. And like welding blankets, they're flame retardant, they high heat resistance, and I had been like putting towels over my smoker trying to insulate it. I've got a whole bunch of packing blankets that I would put packing blankets over. They melt.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was going to try.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
Packing blankets melt. Spencer actually has one of my old grills that he bought from me, and it's got a wonderful chevron pattern on it from where a packing blanket melted to it.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I've thought about trying to use blankets and stuff. I never have because I figured it wouldn't work, and now I know. Now I know why.
But a welding blanket doesn't do that. You can go down to Harbor Freight or whatever your value tool store is. You can buy them for like $20 most of the time. You only need like a 4x6 one, and you just throw it over the top, and it's bonkers how big of a difference it makes.
Yeah.
So on a pellet grill, I was going through, 2 whole hoppers of pellets, and then I started using a packing blanket, and I was like a third, or I guess 2/3 of a hopper.
Really? Instead of 2?
It was a massive savings.
See,
to make it more efficient.
You told me that, and this was before I even had a pellet grill, but I use my drum, and that drum metal is so thin. I mean, trying to weld it, you'll burn a hole right through it so easy. And so it's not very, it's not overly insulating. So you throw one of those blankets around there, and I noticed a huge difference just in consistency, in the ability to keep the temperature up, and it was phenomenal. Yeah,
so that's my number one recommendation is insulate.
I like that. So what do you think about what if it's raining or snowing?
With the pellet grill, bring it on. That's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
You may burn more pellets. Snow can also be an insulator.
Yeah.
As crazy as that seems.
That's true.
It can help protect from wind and stuff. But
like an igloo.
Yeah. But you've probably got the best experience with live fire. I haven't done a lot of live fire in precipitation.
Well, I have made some stupid mistakes, but I've learned some things. But I remember one Thanksgiving I was doing the first turkey I'd ever done, and I was kind of freaking out about it because I was the turkey for Thanksgiving for my wife's family. And I just had my drum. I didn't have any other smokers, and it was pouring rain or snowing really heavy. I could not be out there with my drum trying to make it work because I made my drum, and so I knew how leaky it would be and stuff. So I actually opened my garage, open, keyword open, and brought it in just a little bit. And I left it in there so it would stay dry. Now, I would not highly recommend this method because I've seen many people, even locally, who've just burned their house down trying to smoke things in their garage.
This is not something we would condone doing.
This is not, I would, like I say, I've made a lot of mistakes. I didn't have any issues, but when I was going to do my competition, it was going to rain that day. And so I was trying to look this up along a lot. And I actually learned a lot of things. Like if you can just put like a little easy up or what do you call them? A little canopy. Yeah, just like keep the rain or snow off them. Yeah. Then that works phenomenally. And that's what I do now. And it works great. Also, airflow is a big deal. Yeah. And when it's raining or snowing or there's weather or just wind, like, especially if you're trying to use charcoal or a live fire, you're going to have some serious temperature spikes. And so one thing I read, and I honestly, full disclosure, I haven't tried it yet because I really haven't been in a terrible wind situation yet. But one guy just said, get a box fan and just blow it into your grill just to kind of minimize the temperature spikes and the up and down, just to keep a consistent breeze going through there instead of wind and the shifting directions and everything. So I thought that was kind of interesting. That also helps because, I mean, even on a non-windy day, when the breeze shifts, you can get some backdraft in your offset or whatever, and it can be a kind of a mess. But having that consistent airflow going in that direction.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what the induction fan on a pellet grill does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the same idea. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
I like that idea.
I guess that kind of makes it not, a primitive offset because you're plugging in a fan and blowing it over it, but oh well.
Yeah. I've seen, the other thing that I've seen, and this is like big time money, like you're retired, your wife is happy, and she can't really tell you no anymore because you're that old.
Nice.
I've seen where people have like put big exhaust hoods in their garage.
Oh.
And that's the one time where I think it would be okay to like cook in your garage.
Yeah.
Because you have something sucking all the smoke, all the carbon dioxide, or carbon monoxide rather, pulling all of that out of the room.
Interesting. Yeah. And they put that in their garage, huh?
Mm-hmm. So they cook under those. I mean, I've seen some people do it where they just like use a dryer exhaust vent and they put that over the chimney on their smoker. Oh. I think there's a lot of challenges with doing that. I mean, changing
in a lot of ways.
The length of your smoke tube is going to do a lot of things to your to the airflow and the thermodynamics. Sure. But I kind of want to put a big hood in my garage.
Dude, Malcolm Reed just built a new smokehouse, and he has this massive exhaust vent, and he does all of his filming and stuff in there, so he doesn't have to worry about weather or lighting, and it looks awesome. One day I want an outdoor kitchen where I can just put one of those in there and wall it off if I need to or whatever. It looks pretty awesome.
I'm trying to decide, I am not at the fully funded, totally out of the dog pound potential of getting locked up phase of life. But where I've got a business and it's around barbecue, I almost think I might be able to get away with it with Haley.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I don't know if I can or not.
Do it, dude. Let people come tour it. You'd sell more pellets.
I can just imagine the look. Even her listening to this, I can already hear what she's gonna say.
You can hear her eyes rolling and
I love. Haley is literally the best person on earth, and no one can argue that with me.
Yeah,
because she would roll her eyes and fine.
See, Whitney is also the best person on earth because she would roll her eyes and be like, Mike, we can't afford that. I'd be like, yeah, you're right.
But it's a write-off.
Oh. Well.
We're all about write-offs at the Hayden house.
You write it off.
Yeah.
Who writes it off? Nobody. You just write it off.
Write it off.
Oh,
If only. If only it was that simple.
indeed.
I know. For those of you that filed an extension, October 16th is coming up. Don't forget to get your taxes filed.
I do mine in January.
I normally do, but anyways.
I have a very consistent and predictable income, so it's really easy to file my taxes. So,
Yeah.
plus I work for the government, so basically I don't have to pay taxes. They're just like, oh, you're a teacher, so you don't have any taxes.
That'd be nice.
That would be awesome. That's not true, everybody. Okay, you don't need to call anybody. That is not true.
All right, well,
Yeah.
until next time. He's Mike,
He's John.
and we're Fat Guys with Smokers.
Thanks for listening to the Fat Guys with Smokers podcast. Be sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Be sure to subscribe so you don't forget to tune in for even more nonsense from a couple of Fat Guys with Smokers.
Don't forget to like, subscribe.